Today, I'm sharing IKEA products that I truly believe every single person with a luxurious home should own. And no, we're not talking about even one piece of furniture. Starting with product number one, we have this down pillow. Now, finding a high quality down pillow is so hard and it can be very costly. My favorite down pillow is the one by Four Seasons. It is $250. I don't know what I was doing when I bought it. It's a high quality pillow, but honestly, this IKEA one is just as good. It's great for back, stomach, and side sleepers. It provides you with that support and it has that nice loft. So if you want one of those modern organic bedding arrangements when you just have the coverlet, it just drapes perfectly on the pillows. This pillow is gonna give you that and you're gonna wanna sleep on it. I think so many people have pillows that are so uncomfortable that they don't actually sleep on but look really pretty. We don't want that anymore. We want our homes to be practical and this allows us to do so. Then if you want something down alternative or you want something that's gonna give you the best pillow arrangement ever, then you want this one. So this is a down alternative pillow and IKEA just does a great job of stuffing their down alternative pillows to the brim. It's giving Pillsbury Doughboy, you know, like when you open a Pillsbury thing, it like pops out at you. That's how I feel about these IKEA pillows. They're just so overstuffed and they're gonna give you that sleek feeling. So you're not gonna have those shams that are slouchy and junky and you're not gonna have to spend all of your time ironing, and I love that. Now, I am a disorganized queen. I just am not an organized person. I don't find that creative people are incredibly organized, but let me know down in the comments if you find that to be true. But this is one of the only organization products that has actually kept me organized. And I don't say that lightly. I will expose myself. I'll show you B-roll here. This is this like smoked glass or smoked plastic organization system. It's like a set of 5. My vanity area has been organized for 3 years. I think it's been 3 years since I installed this. It does a beautiful job because there's a place for everything and therefore everything is in its place. People love to buy acrylic things and they're like, oh, you have this acrylic container, now you're gonna be really organized. Okay, but it's just a box, right? If there are no little sections of the box, I'm just equally as disorganized, but in this really pretty box. This has a section for everything. You can use it for makeup, you can use it for tools, you can use it for whatever it is, you can use it for crafting. I don't care what it is, but it just keeps you organized and they all have lids so that if you don't want to look at any of the mess, you can cover them up and still close your drawers. And I think that is just like so sexy and so useful. Next, we're going to talk about this Barakna vase. Now, this is just a basic clear vase, but I think that people lack clear vessels in their homes. And there's so much power in a clear vase. You can use them for any type of flower. You can use them with a floating candle. You can use them with a pillar candle and make it kind of into like a hurricane glass sort of situation. The opportunities are kind of endless, and I think it's just something that you should always have in your interior design arsenal. And when you go to a Michael's, maybe you shop at Hobby Lobby, these vases are $20, $30 now. So the price at IKEA is just unbeatable. Next up, we have this tie-feed flat woven rug. I am not a huge fan of flat woven rugs and like general rug practice, but I am a huge fan of flat woven rugs as wall decor. Now, I've talked about this before. I've been on this soapbox about this particular rug from IKEA for years, but it's lightweight. You can hang it on the wall. You can use it as a tapestry. You could paint on it and use it as a canvas and just use the IKEA hardware, the curtain hardware, the poster hardware to put it up on the wall and get a custom piece of art. Dare I say you can even use this as a mat in one of the frames I'm about to tell you about. I just think it's flat woven. It has so much texture, and we're living in a generation where texture is everything when it comes to interior design. Even as these trends evolve, since I've been on YouTube, there's been a huge emphasis on texture. So this is a great way to get it affordably. You can even drape something like this over the back of your sofa. You could use it as a tablecloth. You could use it on a entryway bench. It is such a versatile piece, and that is something people get wrong with IKEA all the time. They limit it. They say, oh, this is what the IKEA product is for, but IKEA is like the king of DIY, so you need to be open to different uses of their products. Now, this is a more practical item, but this is this Trixig floor protector. I cannot tell you the number of people who neglect their floors when it comes to interior design. Floors are a huge investment. I don't care what kind of flooring that you have, and scratches happen. Especially in this era of fast furniture, scratches happen and things are just plain heavy. These floor protectors are sleek, they go unnoticed. That's something that I don't love. All these content creators are talking about like basically these like chair condoms. Who wants to look at that? This is sleek, it goes unnoticed, and then you can use them on other items in your home. You don't necessarily need casters for your vases. Just put one of these on the bottom. This is a pack of 20 for 99 cents. 99 cents. I mean, this is gonna get you so far. So use this on your appliances. Use this for your vases. I have this gorgeous bowl that scratches my countertop. My countertops are like $10,000. Am I kidding? Am I gonna ruin this over a $30 bowl? No, I'm gonna put something on the bottom to protect it, okay? I'm not just gonna let it keep scratching my countertop all willy-nilly. We need to bring like function back to interior design. The vibe is not worth ruining our floors, our countertops, anything like that. Next we have this battery operated LED light. I just love a good puck light. This is battery operated and it has motion sensor capacity. IKEA is actually the very first place that I ever found a picture light and tried one out. I cannot believe that we have been here together on YouTube this long. And if you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. We've come so far from being DIY with KB to just being Kiva Brent, and I appreciate you rocking with me, listening to my opinions, debating with me down in the comments. I am so grateful to have you. But what I like about this product is it is motion censored. I think motion sensor lighting is so sleek. I hate lighting that you have to always turn on and off. So I love that this is motion censored. It's also peel and stick, so you don't have to drill into anything. Of course, you probably can if you wanted to, but I love how versatile this is. And I love a light bar. We're gonna talk about that in a second, but I do think there's a time and place for a puck light because it really gives you focus light, whereas a light bar diffuses the light, and we need different things for, you know, whatever. So if I were like, you know, doing a closet and I was displaying purses or something like that, that is something I would use a puck light for because I'm like, oh, look at my purses. I carry a fanny pack, but you know what I'm trying to say. And then an LED light bar is more of like a practical element. So food for thought there, but I love how affordable these are and I love IKEA lighting. And next I'm going to talk about this Veskin cart. So IKEA has this cart. This cart would make a phenomenal spice rack. This could make a phenomenal spa cart. So you bring all of your spa materials out into the living room and you can do spa night with your family. This could make a phenomenal play cart for your kids. I think the versatility here is amazing. It comes in white and black, and I love that it's just small space friendly. I think everyone has like a 5 or 6 inch gap somewhere where you're like, I wish something can fit there, but I don't have the right item, and I think this allows you to do so. This is also one of those things, just spray paint it. Give it a coat of spray paint. You guys know I love the Rust-Oleum low odor spray paint. The low odor is the truth. Babe had no idea I spray painted you guys. Oh my gosh, I am their #1 fan. Anyway, it's great for that little area where you just have extra space and you cannot figure out how to maximize it. I think we live in a day and age where people have like these really great small space ideas, but sometimes you just like don't have any good ideas and you need something practical, and this is one of them. You could also cover it with like peel and stick wallpaper, actual wallpaper. Do whatever you want to like zhuzh up the look a little bit. Personally, I would paint it the same color as the area that I'm placing it so that it almost blends into the shadows when it's not in use. Next, we have this Verrier drawer liner. So of course, drawer liner is great in the kitchen, but this is something that is going to help you so much when you're organizing your home decor, your tools, the things in your bathroom. You're able to maintain organization systems better when your organization systems don't jostle around every time you open up the dresser, the closet, the piece of furniture. This is just something that is very helpful. And this is also one of those things that you could use underneath like a decorative tray or something like that to prevent it from hurting the countertop underneath if the felt pads don't make sense. Another IKEA favorite is this Ospit plate holder. So this plate holder is so useful. Obviously you can use it for plates. I think it's a great way to maximize a drawer. If you have like pull-out drawers in your kitchen, it's a great way to organize your plates in a cabinet if you have a cabinet. Also great for records. It's great for anything that can sit upright. I like to use it to organize my art in my closet. I have like, you know, like a series of paintings and things like that. I like to rotate my art. This keeps them accessible and available to me. I've even seen people use this as like a book organizer on the wall. They just mount it onto the wall with some nails, and you're able to store your books like that and get that really cute floating book look that has been trending a lot recently. Now, this is probably one of the most important things you can pick up from IKEA, and you probably don't even know about this, but these are these little hole covers. So in all of IKEA furniture, you know, they have those little holes, which are fine, but the holes do not look good. Of course, you can fill them one by one with spackle or whatever, but who has time for that? If you want to sell the built-in look without, you know, limiting yourself in terms of where the shelves can go and things like that, because we change, our needs change over time, this is the truth. You can also use this on non-IKEA furniture. So Walmart furniture, Target furniture, they also have these little peg holes that just look ugly. They don't give you that custom look we're aspiring to. So I think this is a really sleek way to fix that problem. We are also living in a time where everyone hates microplastics, and for good reason. There are microplastics in everything. There's microplastics in the food we eat, in the water that we drink. There's microplastics in breast milk. There are microplastics everywhere, but people are being more cognizant of that, and I love that. And one of the places where I was able to find high quality glassware was IKEA. And they've had this forever and the prices haven't changed so much. So this is just like the entire 365 collection. So it has the glass base and then it has the nice wooden bamboo lid. You can just feel good about what you're eating out of. You can feel good about what you're storing your food in. No plastic seeping into that. You don't have to worry about any of those chemicals leaching into your food. I think this is a really high quality thing to have. This is also just like a really great tool for organizing your cabinets and things like that. People kind of think that you have to have like those most gorgeous like OXO containers to organize your cabinets. Sometimes things like this make sense. I like to use my drawers for organization for pantry items because if I'm standing there baking or something like that, I want to take a scoop out and, you know, like use things really easily. I don't want to have to climb on a ladder to get some flour sometimes. I just want it to be sleek, easy, and I think this allows us to do so. This could also be great if you have a drawer in your garage or something like that for organizing extra screws. This could be great for kids if you're organizing the barrettes or things like that. We need to expand beyond like our expectations for items, and I think this is a great item that you can use beyond the kitchen. Now the prices on these have become absolutely insane, but I'm a huge fan of the complement dividers. Like I said, I'm a disorganized person. I think these felt dividers are really great for getting your drawers organized. I do not know if you really need to have them with the packs. I think you could use them with other drawer systems, but they're really great at keeping your glasses without scuff, keeping your jewelry without scuffs, keeping you organized in a drawer system. I like the idea of having a full like drawer plate to kind of look at and see everything in one place because it allows you to be a little bit more versatile with your outfits and not use the same thing over and over again. I find that as people, if we are only exposing ourselves to one thing, we kind of limit ourselves in that box. So if we're exposed to more things, we kind of expand beyond our box. That is Kiva's, you know, big take of the day. But I think these organizers are really, really incredible. And I think most people have a PAX or a pack system. And this is going to take that organization to the next level. Next, we have these glass domes with base, which are basically cloches. I think cloches are such a great tool in interior design because they allow you to introduce a new shape. People really struggle to diversify the shapes that they use in a vignette. So we love to follow the group of three. Sometimes we like a grouping of one, but we love odd groupings, right? And you will see lots of rectangles. You'll see 3 rectangles or 3, you know, circles or 3 whatever shape. And there's too much repetition. There isn't enough nuance. So to make things more interesting, having things like this in your arsenal are really going to elevate your space. Plus they're practical. You can fill them with succulents. You can fill them with moss. You can fill them with an LED candle. Don't put a real candle in here because this will probably shatter the glass. This is also a great way to add some seasonality to your home. You can fill this with like eggs for Easter. You can fill it with like hearts or something like that for Valentine's Day, something different for Christmas, right? You can use this as like a little seasonal element that isn't too big, that isn't too in your face, but allows you to have that little ode. Because I think in our more contemporary design styles, we have kind of lost the whimsy. And I think we need a little bit more whimsy because I think it just keeps life exciting. Now, IKEA has so many different picture ledges and I love them all. I think a picture ledge is a really great tool because of course it's great for layering artwork, but it's a great way to display books. Again, love books. I think a lot of people are on Kindle and stuff now, but there's nothing better than having like paper between your hands. But if we don't see the books, sometimes we forget to actually read them. So having a great way to display them like that is great. You can layer art, you can layer mirrors, you can layer paintings, you can layer books, all on these picture ledges. And I think that's really great. It's also a great way to display collections. I think lots of people have collections and they should be celebrated. This is a great way to do so. But I'm incredibly partial to this one because it's acrylic, so that we're not as distracted by the actual like setup. We just get the benefit of the picture ledge. I think this is a great thing to do if you have some type of accent wall, if you have some type of wallpaper, to really let the architecture and like the design kind of shine and not allow the picture ledge to draw away from it. I think people, or I know, people love to have shelves, and I think shelves are a great way to add personality. And I think people are like, okay, my house feels empty, I'm gonna add a shelf. But sometimes the shelf adds too much visual clutter or it just clashes too much with your overall design that it does the opposite of kind of what you're hoping for. So I think having something acrylic like this is very useful. These are also really great for displaying spices. This is something you can use in the kitchen. You can use this for your tools in your garage or in your tool room. You can use this in your library for things other than books. Maybe you have sculpture, maybe you have letters, maybe you have, you know, old journals. Put the things that you love on display. I think people are always limited by, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna hang this. Well, you don't have to worry about that with the picture ledge. This wall lamp is one of my favorite things from IKEA because it gives you that sleek boutique hotel look. This gives restoration, it gives Soho House, it gives boutique hotel because it gives you that sconce vibe. The cord is very well hidden and it gives you that really focused light. We need so many different types of light in our home to get a chic look and for our homes to be practical. And this gives you that task lighting and that mood lighting all at the same time, which I really love. This product has been in IKEA since I started talking about IKEA, and for good reason. Next up, we have this Tiskin suction hook. So these suction hooks are great for just basic storage, but you need to start using these on your kitchen backsplashes. Kitchen backsplashes are a great way to display things about yourself. You can use these suction hooks with like a piece of art or a sculpture or, you know, your utensils or something like that, and put them on display instead of taking up precious countertop space. This is just like a great small space hack. These are also great in the bathroom. I am pretty anti-bathroom or shower stand. I think they take up too much space. You trip on them, you stub your toe. I think having suction hooks allows you to get everything up on the wall and you're maximizing the space for you to exist in, which I really, really love. And these waffle bath towels are my absolute favorite. So I really like Brooklinen towels, and I think I like these ones better. And for frame of reference, these are under $10, and Brooklinen towels I think are $70 a piece. These towels are really great. I find them to be absorbent. They also have a bath sheet. So if you're plus size or you're really tall, or you just want like a really, really long towel, I think this gets the job done. Towels in this day and age are astronomically expensive and none of them are absorbent, but I find that this one to be, and I think it really comes in 4 different colors. Everyone needs a white towel. White towels look luxurious, they look crisp, and they just like elevate your bathroom design. I don't care if you like tons of color, you need to have a white towel somewhere. I'm telling you, it's just going to like instantly elevate your design. I don't know what the psychology is behind it, but it just works. And the Santa head frame. This is my favorite frame for IKEA. I also really like the Rodin, but that didn't make it into today's video. I love the Santa head because it can be used as a shadow box, and it can also just be used on its own. It comes in so many different colors and styles, but I love the depth here. This is one of the ways that I made the shadow boxes in my entryway that I really love, version 1 of them. Version 2, I use like glass ones from Michael's, but whatever, you didn't ask for my life story. I really like these frames because they add dimension and they give you an opportunity to experiment with fun new framing techniques. So I've been talking about this a lot on my channel because I love getting bold with framing. And this is a great way you can do tone on tone frame. You could mix and match the texture. You can play with depth to create a really fun visual experience. I think adding depth and like literal dimension to artwork, it just takes it to the next level. You can even like the inside of these frames. I think these frames just have so much more potential, and you can still use them without the acrylic and still get a bang for your buck, which I do really love. This palm vase is very similar to the other vase, but it really does have that nice look that looks just like Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren was trending big time in Christmas time, and it really is very popular in interior design right now because it's like a nice classic look. So this is a great way to display flowers. I think people are loving flowers right now, which I love. I mean, it's springtime. Who doesn't want to appreciate the outdoors? But this is a great way to display them. You can also just create a grid with tape on the top and make sure that your floral arrangement looks good, even if you're like DIY one. That is a fun little pro tip. But I love the shape of this. This is great for any style of candle. And again, I think you could maybe put a dowel in the center and add decor around it to make it something seasonal if that's something that you wanted to do. Now, I'm a huge fan of IKEA Stockholm collection, but I found the collection to be very pricey. However, I do really like this brass bowl set. IKEA Gold tends to look really cheap. Stockholm, not quite as much, but I think having catch-all bowls and like small decorative bowls, again, a way to finish off a vignette in a way that is practical and unexpected a little bit. Again, I think people lean way too heavily on vases and candles and don't think about decor that is actually practical. If you find yourself moving your decor out of the way all the time to actually use the things that you need, you have not decorated your home successfully, because your decor should be functional, because you should be able to live in your space successfully without always adjusting. And while I love matte decor, I love Scandinavian design, and I love contemporary design, I think adding something with a gloss or like a high sheen finish sometimes is just unexpected and makes things more interesting. We want to switch up shape, we want to switch up height, but we also want to switch up finish. That can be another way to make a space look a lot more high-end and visually appealing. I also really love this seagrass placemat. I'm one of those people who loves a good placemat. They're easier to clean. They provide some rigidity to the table and just help take a table setting to the next level. I think people are returning to the dining tables, which I really love, but let me know down in the comments, do you eat at your dining table every day, your kitchen island, or do you eat in front of like the TV at the coffee table? Not judging you for what you do, just want to know what you do down in the comments. That being said, I think this is great as a placemat, but it could also be great as a wall hanging. You can use this to DIY a headboard. It's just a great way to add some texture. I probably would use this as a mat for artwork and attach artwork maybe in like a round capacity, have a round photo printed and attach it to the seagrass, or put this in like a frame. I don't know what I would do. I'm going to develop the concept a little bit more, but I love the texture here and it's so earthy. I think people think seagrass and they think wicker and they think jute, and I think seagrass is just like the most elevated version of the three. And of course, this iconic pendant lamp is something you should pick up from IKEA, because paper pendants, rice pendants, they just add an organic element. They keep things light and airy. And it's a great way to get a pendant without having to do any wiring. That also brings me to the HEMA wiring situation. If you want to DIY a sconce, if you want to DIY a pendant, if you just want to get creative with lighting without having to call your electrician, this is the way to do so. This plus cord covers, you can make magic happen. I think people are so into battery operated sconces and picture lights and stuff like that now, or USB, but you have to charge those items. If you use the HEMA, you just need to plug them in. You can put them on a smart plug and you will be good to go. This is something that's heavily slept on, and you can just get a shade from somewhere that is an IKEA if you're not loving the look or you want to DIY them. I'm telling you, take those dome bowls from IKEA, drill a hole in them, string it together, and you're going to have the most luxurious looking pendant lamp for under $20, and you're going to thank me for it. And last but not least, we have the Fix a Drill template. Drilling is hard, and making sure that all of your holes are evenly placed is truly an art form, and I think this is just something great to have in your arsenal. People are held back in terms of DIY and making their homes look beautiful because they don't have the correct tools, right? It can be really frustrating doing all of the measuring. You don't need to be perfect at that. Fill your cup with tools that will help you be more successful, and this is one of these things. This is one of these IKEA products so good that I bought one for my contractor, and it's a part of his kit now because it makes measuring for holes for cabinetry so much easier. But those are the IKEA products under $30 that I think that everyone should have. They are so useful and are going to elevate your home no matter what your interior design style is. What is your IKEA non-negotiable? I know I talked about products that were kind of like out there and you're thinking about organization and DIY and all that stuff, but I promise you they're going to help you oh so much. If you liked today's video, I'd love it if you smash that subscribe button, but until next time, have a beautiful day.